to the Sun Kids podcast. I'm very excited about this episode. I get to talk about one of my favorite shows of all time, South Park. So ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome the host of the Sharks Pond podcast, Bill. What's up, man?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me on.
To kind of just get into this podcast, what got you into the podcast world and why South Park?
Okay, with podcasting, many years ago, I actually had to take back how long ago, but it's been a while. Many years ago, I used to work on a wrestling website, and the person who ran it at the time asked me if I wanted to do a segment each week, which I did. And I slowly got into podcasting, and I kind of enjoyed kind of being, like on air. So I thought, okay, I'll give this a try, see how it goes. Several years later, I wanted to do a TV podcast because I had a good friend of mine who did a podcast on Batman the Animated Series, which was really good. And
the one that's on HBO, right? The ones that are like adult themed.
Yeah,
right?
The ones that used to air on Fox.
So I don't know about if they were on Fox, but there was the ones on HBO, very adult theme. I don't think they would be on television, but those were amazing. I thought it was weird. I don't know if you've seen it, but I thought it was weird how Batman hooked up with the daughter of the chief. Right. And the daughter was like half his age, and it was just like weird. But I mean, they were great shows.
They were. So I had wanted to do, I was kind of inspired to do a TV one. And I had like three choices that I was thinking of. And one of them was South Park. And a friend of mine who lives in Norway convinced me, you should do South Park. And I'm kind of glad I did, because if I was doing one of the other shows, hint, hint, Simpsons, I'd still be on season 8 or 9.
So, sorry. The thing with the Simpsons, obviously it's a very successful show. Mm-hmm. And but it's like ice cream. Some people like chocolate, some people like vanilla, some people like strawberry. I think the Simpsons put more thought into the couch skit at the beginning,
right,
than they do in their shows now. Me personally, I never found the Simpsons humorous. Not that it's terrible,
right?
I just never found it to be successful for it to be around as long as it has, personally. But that's one person compared to the rest of the world,
Right. As far as South Park, the show, I started watching it when I was in high school, and I was as a kid, I loved watching cartoons. So I kind of knew South Park through school, through other people, this is completely off the wall. It's different. And I started watching it, and I thought it was actually good. There were some episodes that I thought were real good. And then my art teacher, my senior year in high school, told us about how, and it's true, the first episode is all done with construction paper.
Yeah. And it took him days to
right
process, because it was freeze frame.
Mm-hmm.
It was crazy.
And it was even though he hated the show, which I totally get, because there are people that do hate the show, he did respect them for how they made that episode.
Do you think people don't give it a fair chance of seeing how well the show is made and wrote, but because of the content? But the thing is, I feel like when it first came out, it was just toilet humor. It didn't attack current events and whatnot like it does now. But the thing, I think, why the show has been so successful is it's grown with its audience. Because we watched it when we were younger. Now we're full adults. And I think it kind of grew with us. And I feel like if the people who watched the earlier seasons didn't like it, I feel like they could watch, me personally, I think around season 8 and 9 is when they really started to take that chance and attack a lot of very polarizing issues. And I feel like if they could just sit back and see what is made, I feel like they'd be like, this is one of the best shows ever to be on television. And so do you think that because of it, quote unquote, being toilet humor to some people, do you feel like that takes away the genius of the show?
I think it does, because there were some episodes when I first started where I watched it and I was like, wow, there's actually like a serious topic, a message. And the first one that comes to my mind is the Big Gay Al episode, like the first time he's on. And they're talking about accepting people, or in this case, in the episode, animals, as gay. Yeah. And they use the animals as like a representation of people, you know, as gay. And it's kind of weird how when that aired in, I want to say it was like 1997.
Yeah. 98 maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, 98 maybe. That 25 years later, it's still a serious topic. And that's one of the things that I really like about the show, is how there are some topics that still 10, 15, 20 years later are as relevant today as they were when they first aired.
But back then, it didn't get the viewership I feel like it should have. Mm-hmm. Like, imagine if that Big Gay Al episode came out now.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like, that would be a very talked about subject. So to kind of go into a little bit, I kind of mentioned I wanted to talk about my favorite episodes, and I said 5, but it was too hard to just fit 5. So I did 10, and this is in particular order. So I don't know if you kind of have a list in your head or in front of you, but I'll go with my first one. And if you want to talk about it a little bit, you know, we can see if it's an episode you enjoyed or not, and if so, why. So first one on my list is Trapped in the Closet, season 9.
I do enjoy that. Actually, I do have it on my list, because we actually, on our Facebook group, we have kind of like a hall of fame of episodes where if any of them get a 10, they're like, these are the ones you have to watch. And this is easily one of them for a lot of reasons. Tom, you know, the whole Tom Cruise thing.
For me, it was the R. Kelly thing. I'll put out my gun. It was just, I'm in the closet too. You know, it was perfect. And yeah, of course, Tom Cruise and John Travolta. And then, you know, them telling Stan, like, you know, like, it's all a scam. And then, like, at the beginning of the episode, it showed what Scientologists actually believe. And we're just sitting there like, these people actually put money into this shit.
Right.
You know, my next one is With Apologies to Jesse Jackson. Very, you know, that episode was different. I just remember, like, when the Wheel of Fortune thing came.
Yes.
And I seen the ERS. I'm like, oh no. Oh no. But, and you know, and then like Stan and Token are having their argument about like, dude, it's cool. He's like, no. And then he's like, well, he apologized to Jesse Jackson. Well,
right.
Jesse Jackson's not the emperor of black people. He told my dad he was. Yeah. And, no, I just thought that episode, and even though that was only made a few years back, if that came out today, South Park would probably get canceled, or attempt to get canceled. Not that they've been dealing with that for 20 some years.
I'll say with the episode, that is one of the few where before I like recorded it, I was like, okay, I really have to watch what I say, because if I say the wrong thing, I'm going to offend somebody. But the joke with the Wheel of Fortune thing is so funny that, like, you see it in memes, you see it in, you know, short YouTube clips. I think it's played everywhere to this day, and people still find it funny.
Yeah, and I just love Randy's reaction after. He's just like trying to play it cool, like naggers. Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah, naggers. No, I think that episode was amazing. And next on my list is Butters Bottom Bitch, season 13. I love Pimp Butters. I love Butters as a pimp. Do you know what I am saying?
He's like the nicest pimp ever.
Yeah, and the way he was able to like make it a legit business. He goes in, they try to deny him for the house scene and stuff. And oh, you get kisses from my girl behind the alley at 12 o'clock every day. Instantly accepted.
Right. With that one, because what I liked about it, and because sometimes I'll go through like the production notes on the South Park website, and part of that episode was like, oh, this is Butters' first kiss. And then when I was looking at the notes, it said like, it's a lie. He's already been kissed before. So I joked when I did that season, like, this is the big scandal of the season that no one wants to talk about.
I can't remember Butters being kissed, but you're probably right. But that was the one episode where they made it clear, like what episode was it that he was kissed before? Do you remember? Or
yes, it was like season 3. Okay. And it's the one where the kids that are homeschooled go to public school, and the girl starts to become like a whore.
Margarine,
and she,
right?
Yeah, and she just starts kissing random people, and Butters is one of them. So it's like, oh yeah, I remember that now.
Yeah. I don't, so I'll have to go back and it's just South Park has so many fucking episodes. It's just hard to remember. And these are ones that I can watch every day and not get tired of them. There's certain episodes, like if you want to binge watch it, South Park from the start, like once a year or once like I do, it's cool to see some episodes once and be like, okay, I don't need to like rewatch that like 20 times or 100 times. But I might have to go back to season 3 and try to find that. Next one is Medicinal Fried Chicken. Love it. Season 14. Just the whole Scarface reference,
right?
Sanders being the plug. And of course, like you said in your podcast, this was the start of Integrity Farms in a way. Of seeing Randy with his love of marijuana. And I just liked how it was made. And of course, Cartman being a fiend for the chicken.
Yes.
And becoming like the Tony Montana of KFC.
Yes.
You see him snorting it and everything before the feds come and raid the kid's basement.
I will always say with Scarface, you don't have to see the whole movie and you will still get the reference. That's how good that movie is. I haven't seen the whole thing, but I know enough to know like, oh, that's Scarface.
Never watched the whole movie?
I've seen the end. I've seen the beginning. It's the middle I haven't seen.
It's a great movie. But I mean, it's not everyone's cup of tea. It's a lot more action packed than The Godfather. Like I love The Godfather, but they're like 10-hour movies and you have no distractions because you're reading subtitles 90% of the time. Scarface is a great movie. But back to the medicinal thing, the thing I thought was funny, the best part about that was when he was in the alley buying it and Barb Brady comes and he's like, what's going on here? Nothing, it's Q. And like, Barb Brady does Barb Brady and just keeps walking and he just doesn't give a shit. So as much as Eric's an asshole, I feel like the episodes that are based around him
are really good
episodes of the series, because you can do so much with that character. Like in the later seasons, when he changed and whatnot, Token's life matters, and he became like a good person, and they smashed his equipment. But
Yes.
Eric, to me, it's just funny how I don't think he's really an asshole, because he's always had moments in episodes where he stood up for Kyle or stood up for people.
Mhm.
And it's like, I think he wants to be a good kid because he showed it, but maybe just not having a father figure and a whore for a mother kind of
Right.
gets to his head a little bit. Next on my list, I got World War Zimmerman.
Oh gosh, I haven't seen that one in a long time, and I'm sure I'm going to be coming up on that one soon. So I think I kind of remember it. I know they parodied the Brad Pitt movie.
Uh-huh.
It was like a big part of it.
Yeah, and the thing, like, Eric kept having these dreams about Token eating his family, like the World War Z movie.
Mm-hmm.
And like Eric would come to school and be like, fist bump, bro, fist bump.
Right.
And he'd like pass out in the class, be like, no, Token, stop eating my wife, Token. And, it caused this issue. And like, he goes and sees Miss Mackie, and Mackie sits him down. He's like, all right, boys, let's just not, do this no more. Then Eric has this big thing in the gym, and he has this rap like, I wasn't the bullet, I wasn't the gun.
Yeah.
And then Token just loses his shit. He's like, oh God, it's starting. And then he goes home and dresses like Brad Pitt, gets on a couple planes and crashes them, and goes to Florida to kill Zimmerman.
Yep.
And then Zimmerman shoots him. And Zimmerman made a comment like, oh, I got to live with this, even though I'll be a free man. Then the guy's like, this kid's white. And then it goes immediately to Zimmerman's being guilty in the electric chair.
Mm-hmm.
But the ending of that episode was cool. Eric tried to be cool with Token, and he paints a circle around him. Token gives him a fist bump. He shoots Token because he was standing his ground, and pulls Token in the circle.
Right.
It's just like this. The episode was the Zimmerman thing was funny, and the way they did the parody of World War Z was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And a tie I got for that in the list was informative murder porn.
That's another interesting one. I saw that one maybe about a year ago, and it's like a good example of how, like, you could, in a way, like, you could mess with the cable company back when, streaming services really weren't around, or they just were getting started. And it just is very good. And that's a good Randy episode, because Randy is, I think, started to become, by this point, like one of the bigger characters of the series.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, Randy has always been great, but I feel like he drugged the Integrity Farm stuff out a little too much.
Mm-hmm.
Me personally, I watched the show for the kids, the kids doing their thing. And
right.
Last couple seasons, it was all Randy, which is cool. Like the first season, I loved it, but like when it was like it seemed like it was a continuation of more Randy and less of the kids. I'm like, all right, this is kind of boring in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Not that the show is bad, Ed, just like I feel like it needs to go back to its roots a little bit of the kids having their adventures and their stories.
Yeah.
That's the bread and butter. But yeah, the informative murder porn was just, you had him try to figure out how to tame, was it like your horse in Minecraft to like the password, right? Well, how to tame your horse, or
mm-hmm.
So you had the kids going to this kid's basement and playing Minecraft, and yeah, it was just insane. Next on my list, I got Go Fund Yourself.
Oh, okay. That one kind of hits me personally, because I live in the DC area, and the now Washington football team is my team. So when I saw that they were going to make fun of them, I was like, oh God, here we go. And then there's really a good scene in the episode where the NFL owners are meeting, and you see Jerry Jones, the owner of the Cowboys.
Yeah.
And there's this woman that comes up and then he pushes her head down. And I laughed so hard.
That should have been Roger Kraft if you think about it.
Right.
Looking back, but no, like that episode to me was just funny, and how they changed the logo, but they really didn't change it. They just would add some boobs or a dick, and yeah. Then he put two Washington heads fucking each other at the end, and it was just that episode to me was just classic Eric, and I loved it. And real quick, going on the thing, I don't know why they would just. I understand that. I'll say it. Culture today is a little too sensitive.
Yes,
but to just say Washington Redskins was offensive when, like, for years it was cool, and then like all of a sudden it's a problem. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, the Washington football. It's like, what? It just doesn't sound like a football team. It just sounds like, once you get used to saying it here, it doesn't sound as terrible as everyone thinks it is. I know, but still, it's just sad. Like, you guys had a brand and like a look, and now it's just a W. You guys look like a high school team out there.
We do.
And
no lie.
But you guys ain't terrible, even though the record isn't the greatest. Like, you guys play hard, like the games you lost have not been blowouts. Like, you guys are like a piece or two away from doing something,
Oh yeah.
So, next on my list though is Sons of Witches.
That one I love. I love that episode. They do, and I said it before, I said it a lot of times. Their Halloween episodes are right up there with The Simpsons when they do their Treehouse of Horror episodes. Those Halloween episodes are so good. It is unbelievable.
Yeah, and I love how, Eric is just trying to get rid of Heidi, and he's like, I'm going to make sure she's kidnapped. And, they finally like kill, Trump or Garrison kills the witch. And like they open up the bag and, she's like, give me a second. And Eric's like, it's going to be a minute. And she's... it was just funny how the episode was just a big plan for the witch to kidnap Heidi. Yeah. And then, the Jack and Coke and Garrison being like, the president, and like, I got plenty of Jack and Coke on the jet. Let's go. That episode was amazing. And then next, I got the Scoots.
Oh, the Scoots. Okay.
Yeah, I just like the Grinch reference in there when he drives up to the mountain and you see him.
Yes.
The Scoots, and just the story of like, and I'm a horror fan guy, and the Jason scene in there was kind of funny.
Yeah.
And, just Kenny just not being able to get with friends, and the big fight that happened when school got out. And that was the second time Eric punched Butters in the face that season, which was interesting. The first time obviously it was when Butters was the plug for the vape.
Yep.
And to cover his own ass, Eric punched Butters. The Scoots was an episode that I can relate with because I fucking hate those scooters, dude. Fucking hate them. They're always in the way. You can't walk down a sidewalk, it seems like.
Right.
Yeah, I've been hit by people on scooters because they don't know how to like hit brakes or slow down.
Right.
So I fucking hate those scooters, man. The next episode I got is Banned in China.
Yes. That one. Okay. There's a number of reasons why I love that one. First off is you get evil Mickey Mouse, which I think is the best version of Mickey Mouse. I know. And then number two, because I think it was like the week before or 2 weeks before, they were actually like, they put like an advertisement out online for anyone who can do like Winnie the Pooh and Piglet voices. And when I saw that, I was like, oh my God, because my sisters were really into Winnie the Pooh when we were kids. And I mean, I liked Winnie the Pooh. I mean, not as much as my sisters, but
yeah, same. I think I watched the movies, but I don't remember watching the shows, you know?
Right.
Like,
so when I heard that was going to happen, I was like, oh my God, how are they going to do this? And then the best scene the two best scenes are the one where Mickey has everybody lined up and
where the fuck is this guy?
Right. And then they're like, where are you from? And he's like,
do I own? It's like, do I own him yet? You know, like,
no, not yet, sir. That is one of my favorite lines ever. And then when they murder Winnie the Pooh was so out of left field. It was unbelievable. Like, I couldn't believe they did that.
Yeah, and another thing, and I think this was the catchphrase of Randy this season was, you know, he thought he came up with the idea himself, and he gets on the plane and he sees all these other companies going to China to grow their business. Hey, fuck you. Yeah, like, you know.
Yeah.
It was just you know, Randy thinks he comes up with stuff that's been around for a minute. And no, that episode I thought would that whole season, if I remember correctly, they were really pushing the envelope on, like, because if you remember in the credits, if faded in the background, you've seen hashtag cancel South Park. Like, I feel like they were really like trying to like get canceled. If I'm
that is one of my favorite seasons of all time, actually. And
you start out with dead kids, and you know, it's cool, and you got I love Mr. Mackey. I got it, okay. Okay, and we'll get the fuck down, okay. No, but and then it went to a boy and his priest, and it's like the first two episodes, when like watching them like week by week, I'm like, oh my God, like these guys are like pushing that envelope, man.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite seasons. And also the season 14 was a really good season. I'm glad you liked that episode as much as I did.
Yeah.
And then last one, this was hard. I almost wanted to put the first episode because that's what started everything. But Cartman's mom is a dirty slut.
Yes.
That one was one that was just Eric anytime he thought someone was his dad, especially when he thought Chef was his dad.
I love that.
I'm going to go chill with my pops, yo. And yeah, the story of, you know, Eric really not knowing who his father is still. Poor kid. But yeah, that episode,
poor kid.
that was one of the ones from the first season that I'm like, okay, this is actually really fucking hilarious. Not that the other episodes weren't, but they just weren't doing anything out of the box, you know, like Cartman gets an anal probe. Okay, cool. Like, there wasn't really a lot of jokes in it. It was just a lot of farting and Stan puking on Wendy.
Right.
Like, you know, it's like, okay, like, funny, but looking back, the earlier seasons were really not that great. Now there were a couple episodes here and there, but so those were my 10. There were a lot, but I really had to sit down and be like, okay, like, which ones are my favorite?
Yeah.
And because there's a lot of good ones. And one that was hold on, let me pull it up. There were a couple I almost put. One was Worldwide Recorder Concert.
Yes. Oh, that I don't have that on my list, but that is a funny episode.
That one was an honorable mention for sure. You know, the Garrison being upset because his dad didn't rape him.
Right.
It's like, bro, that's fucked up. Like, the whole episode, I'm thinking he's having PTSD because his dad raped him. And it's like, no, because he didn't rape him.
Right.
Another honorable mention would probably have to be, let's see. I'm on HBO Max kind of scrolling
Oh, okay.
through Scott Timmerman Must Die.
Okay, that one
was a little fucked up. Like it was.
It is.
If I'm sure you've read articles on best South Park episodes of all time, and they have that one I got number 1 or 2. I'm like, I don't see it.
Exactly. I really don't.
I thought the Crazy Cripples were better than that when Jimmy and Timmy became Crips, and
oh yes,
that was hilarious. And then Little Crime Stoppers was hilarious. Christian Rock and Roll was great.
Yep.
Yeah. Another one that's popular that I didn't see to be funny, that's on a lot of people's list, is Casa Bonita.
I like it. I don't have it.
It's just not it for me, you know?
Right.
Trying to think.
Part of it might be like how cruel Cartman is to Butters, because it's like, I'm going to hide him. I'm going to have him missing. I'm going to make sure that this kid does not go to my favorite restaurant.
Yeah. And it maybe, I don't know, but that's another one. If you look on lists, that's like number 1 on a lot of people's list. I don't see it, but who am I to say that person's wrong?
Right.
Another one, I should have put this in because I thought it was hilarious, was, the guy who came in. The dog whisperer guy.
Yes.
That one was another one that should have been, I should have put that on the list. But, yeah. So what are some of your favorite episodes?
Well, there's like 3 that come to my mind right away. The first one is Good Times with Weapons. That's the
Ninja Stars. Yeah.
Yeah. The Ninja Star one. That one is so funny. And I think I even said when I did the episode, it's the best season opener that they've ever had. And I still think that to this day, because I don't think anything has come close to topping it. And it's also like another reason is because I have so many friends that are into anime that I'm not into it.
Yeah, but the quality of what you did with visuals for that episode was
so
insane.
Good. Yes.
Insane.
Yes. Another one, I think this one's generally loved, Woodland Critter Christmas. That one.
Okay, yeah, that was a little in the left field for me. It's funny, but it's just fucked up, beyond fucked up.
Right.
And I love how they came back in the imagination land. They're like, oh, look at these cute little critters. And Stan's like, wait a minute. No, don't go near them.
Right.
But I love how it told this great story. Then at the end, Kyle dies of AIDS.
Right. And what's great about it is that it's an entire story made up by Cartman. And then after Kyle gets pissed, the other students are like, we want to know how this ends. We just want to know how this ends. So that one's one of my favorites. Another one is Major Boobage, which is
that when Bebe gets
no, it's the one where they are dealing with getting high off a cat pee.
Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah. And they do the tribute to the movie Heavy Metal.
And was it Kenny and Kyle's dad fighting him?
Yes. Yes.
Oh. Yeah.
Now, I don't know if you've ever seen that movie before.
No, but I'll have to watch it now. I didn't even. They always make a parody of something in an episode. They're always poking fun.
They are
something, but I didn't know that was a parody of a movie. So I'll have to.
The movie to me is okay, but the soundtrack is amazing.
Yeah,
it is.
Major Boobage was good. maybe it's because it's been so long since I've seen it. It's not on the
Right.
list. But yeah, that's definitely hilarious. And the others, I know there's only a couple that come to mind, but like,
Yeah. I'm going to go to one from way early on, and that's Chin Pokemon, where they make fun of Pokemon.
I'm trying to think of what was that, like season 1 or
Season 3.
okay, let's maybe if I see the like the thumbnail or whatever.
Yeah, I think once you see it, you might remember it.
Yeah. And I'll probably laugh my ass off. But it's like I said earlier, they got so many fucking episodes. It's just hard to keep track of
Right.
what's what.
And I think why I liked that episode is because, like, I had friends that were into Pokemon. Like, they had the cards, they had all that stuff. And I never, like, I only watched the show. Like, I only watched Pokemon, and then I got out of it. And then what kind of makes it go full circle is two of my nephews are really into Pokemon now. So it's kind of like, man, I just can't escape it.
Man, don't hate me, but I'm looking at this and I don't remember anything about how this might end.
It's okay.
So I'll definitely watch that episode tonight, and I'll send you a message and let you know what I think. But looking at the season, two naked guys in the hot tub was kind of funny. Moving forward a little bit, this is one thing. I didn't listen to it, so if you feel like you're repeating yourself, I apologize. But what were your thoughts on the post-COVID specials? And one thing I kind of felt bad about was how Cartman's life completely at the end was a complete 360 after he went back and killed Craig and saved everybody. He's back to being, Cartman.
Yeah. I liked both of them. I liked the first one more because it was more to me of like, we have no idea what we're getting. Like, we know, like, from the previews, like, they're adults, but what exactly happens to them? And then when you find out that Cartman becomes Jewish and, marries.
I was like, what the fuck?
Yes.
Like, I thought what Kyle was thinking, I'm like, this has to be like a fucking rib on Kyle. You know what I mean?
Greatest rib ever.
But, yeah. But then you seen the kids, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe.
Right.
Maybe.
And then with the second one, which is good, but it's not as good as the first one. It's like you have like those small, subtle jokes, like when Cartman hides his family in the attic of the church.
Oh my God, dude. And then like that one kid's writing a diary.
Yes.
I'm like, dude, what? But yeah, Cartman kind of had Cartman moments when he was bullying Scott Matheson. I got diabetes.
Yes.
Telling the people on the other side of the door what to say. Like,
yes.
Yeah. So Cartman wasn't completely a changed person. I feel like being in South Park, maybe being around that, it's hard to explain, but sometimes when you're around old friends and old habits, you just can't help it. But yeah, at the end of the first episode, I loved how they were talking about going back in time, and they're like, "Fuck Uncle Kyle," just Cartman being Jewish was the best thing possible for that thing.
And with the ending, like, I know a lot of people did not like it, which I understand, but in honesty, like, I thought that was the perfect thing to go with for Cartman because of how terrible he was as a kid. For every bad thing he ever did to everyone, it's kind of like, this is what you get for being so shitty and treating everyone like shit for so long.
Well, I felt bad. I know a lot of fans were happy about that, but I'm like, no. He took a chance, and he's like, if it was meant to be, like when we come back out, like we're gonna be together and have this, and nope, wasn't meant to be, buddy.
Although what might kind of influence what I said was like earlier that day, someone had put up a video on YouTube, and I'll have to find it for you. It's basically every crime Cartman has ever committed on the show.
Oh yeah, the dude. Yeah, he's killed people. He's
right.
He's not. He wasn't a good person. But I know karma comes back around. But just I feel like he made up for it by killing Clyde. You know what I mean? Like it showed like him being a good person, and he paid the price. Maybe it's because of all the shit he did.
Maybe.
But that's one thing I didn't like about it. But at the same time, it's so fitting. At the same time, he probably lived with his mom until his mom died,
Right.
And one thing I thought was hilarious with Randy's ego, he thought Integrity Farms was really the key to solving this, but it's like no one gives a fuck about integrity, man. Like, but Randy was just so Randy in both specials.
Yeah,
about Shelly's marijuana problem, and it's like it's just hilarious. Even old Randy was still Randy, and then when Stan goes and visits him, he's talking all that shit, like. Well, if he really tell him to spit out some kids, fuck him. He's a little bitch. Hi, Dad. Oh, hi. Like it's just funny. And how everything said plus or max was
like I kind of got it, but it kind of got to a point where I was like, okay, I get it. It's funny after like the second or third time.
And were those chin diapers that like the news reporters were wearing? Is that what? They look like literally diapers just fitted around their head.
It does. It really does. Like, I think...
What was with that? Was that the chin diaper or...
I think what it was is like the masks, like when you go out and if you like move the mask and you put it on your chin, it kind of does look like a chin diaper.
But how it went all like on their head and stuff, and it looked like this helmet.
Right.
To me, it looked like a diaper, like just an actual like diaper on their head.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to rewatch that a little bit.
Yeah.
How much longer do you think the show can go on?
Well, they signed a contract with Comedy Central,
years, right?
Yeah, to go to at least season 30.
Yeah. But with how sensitive things are and whatnot, if I'm them, I'm going to season 30 and then like
that might be where it goes.
But it could go on forever, and that's the thing.
Right.
It could. But do they really want to deal with possible court cases like they haven't before? But it's just you don't know how people are going to react nowadays. And the thing I love about the show is they don't give a fuck. They're not gonna they're not gonna censor themselves, because the thing I love, they'll attack the right side, they'll attack the left, and they'll attack the middle. And it's funny, so but like I said, some people get offended when they make certain jokes, but yet when they were joking about this, it was funny, but yet they attack one little thing you believe.
Exactly.
And it's like, fuck this show.
And that's one of the good things about South Park is how they have gone at some point for every U.S. president there's been since this show has begun. Meanwhile, if you take a look, and I'll go back to The Simpsons as an example. I remember seeing like some clips where they go after Bill Clinton, which is kind of an obvious target, because it's Bill Clinton. And then they don't do anything for a while. And then when Donald Trump is running, they like devote a lot of time to him. And that's what kind of drew me away, was how like you go this long of separating. Meanwhile, with Family Guy, they do make fun of Clinton, they do make fun of Bush, but it was like with Obama, and I'm not trying to start anything up, but I'm just like, I feel like with Obama, they kind of made him as if he was the greatest thing since sliced bread. And
in the episode, to me that showed that was when Peter worked for Trump and they're having the big fight.
Yes.
And they go punch and stuff, and Peter sees the picture of Obama and just like kisses it.
Mm-hmm. Right. Whereas with South Park, it's like, we don't care. We don't care who's running. We're going to make fun of you.
Yeah. But I just thought, now that episode of Family Guy was great. It's one of the very few ones of the newer times that was actually good. Because the thing with Family Guy, I thought the earlier seasons were way better.
Yeah.
But now I feel like American Dad was better than Family Guy, and they got a short run, and I hate that. I feel like American Dad was a lot better than what Family Guy has put out the past couple of years.
There were times where American Dad was real funny, really funny. And with Family Guy, like every once in a while, they'll have a hit. They'll have a real good episode, but then it kind of just dies off.
But for the basic audience that might just want something to watch on a Monday or whatever night, they'll watch it just because the name and, it's just something for people to watch before they go to bed. But me personally, I'm not watching it a lot. But if there's an episode that's talked about a lot, I'll check it out.
Right.
Before we wrap this up, you said at the beginning you were on you work for a wrestling website.
Yes.
So I'll just ask, what do you think about today's product? And does WWE or AEW have the better product? I know WWE will always be around, just because of the name. But I'll be honest, to me, it's kind of sucked for a bit, and they've had a couple hits here and there. And I like what they're doing with the storyline of Roman and Brock.
Yeah.
That's a great storyline. And I knew at some point it was going to happen. But I wasn't expecting it to happen after Roman beat Cena. And that was just huge. But with day one coming around the corner, from my understanding, it's going to be a series of matches. I can see Brock winning this one.
Yeah.
And then dropping the title at Mania. Or if Roman wants to go do Hollywood shit, like he's talked about briefly, this could be, the card to go do it. It's just it's just so interesting how Paul Heyman is going to play the deciding factor at day one. But I don't think he's going to cross Brock. It could, the moment that I seen the last. I don't watch the episodes. I'll just get on YouTube and Google names, and that's how I keep up. There's certain things that have me intrigued. And when Brock was like, "I'm not protecting Brock from you. I'm protecting you from Brock."
Yeah,
it's okay, but it just sounds like it might be a setup because in the past he's did it with Big Show. You know what I mean? And it sounds like it could be a repeating thing, but who knows? Paul could side with Brock again. What's Roman needed the push, and he needed Paul now at first, but I think Roman knows his character now. And the thing with Roman that I hated for years is they try to force him down our throat as a top guy.
Yep.
And it's just this guy's character sucks. But now it's he found his character in a way, and I don't think he needs Paul Heyman now.
I think with WWE, there are a few good things. Roman Reigns, like you said, is at the top of the list. I've really enjoyed watching Bobby Lashley these last year and a half. He's been good.
Me personally, and I don't understand why they didn't want to keep this guy, was Bray Wyatt. I think Bray is the best storyteller they've had ever in a long time. I wouldn't say ever, but I loved the Fiend character. I loved the Mania match. And when he lost, I knew there must have been something, because you had this buildup. When's the Fiend going to come back? And then he comes back looking like a burnt, deformed.
Right.
And then like just seeing him regenerate, walking, to at Mania, it's like, okay, Orton's going to get crushed.
Yeah.
And for him to go out with one RKO when we've seen him in the past, and especially with the Seth Rollins matches, take curb stomp after curb stomp and get up. It's like you promoted this guy to be indestructible.
Mm-hmm.
And then he gets one RKO and
that's it.
Yeah. It's like, I'm like, there's got to be something behind the scenes. And from my understanding, Bray only did that as a favor. I guess he hasn't been happy with since the Goldberg situation.
Right.
Because he was supposed to win that, but Goldberg's like, no, I need to win or I'm not doing it.
Right. And where I think AEW is going right, because to answer your question, I think AEW right now is the better product.
Because it's Attitude Era-esque to me.
It kind of is, but it's also just a good use of the talent that they have, and they're using them right. I can't think of one person right now that is being used wrong, and they're giving everybody time, and it's telling a story. And there may be points where you forget, but when they bring it up, it's like, oh yes, I remember now. And that's what's making it making watching AEW fun every week.
The slight issue, and it's not an issue, but it's going to be an issue, is they have a 10-pound bag of sugar, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But they're going to try to put 20 pounds of sugar in this bag. They're picking up great talent left and right.
Yeah.
But you don't have the television time for all this talent. And it's like, at some point, they're going to come to an issue of like, okay, we got too many people.
Mm-hmm.
But I I hate to go back to Bray, but I want him to go to AEW. I feel like they're going to let him do what he wants. And creatively, I think it would be the best version of Bray Wyatt or Windham, whatever.
Wyndham, yeah.
That we'll ever see. And we'll see. Did you see the article about a couple weeks ago? Like the lights were flickering, and they were like, "Is this like a build up to Bray?"
I missed that actually.
It was at some pay-per-view, and it was during a tag match during like someone's entrance, and the lights didn't go out, but they had this weird dim flicker. And it's happened here and there, and they haven't really said a whole lot. I think they're trying to like not bring too much attention to it.
Right.
So when if it is him, it's going to be, and what's he going to look like? Is he going to, he had this image on his Instagram of like, you can't kill it. And it didn't look like the Fiend, but it looked like something freaky, dude. It looked scary.
Yeah.
That it's just, I don't understand why you would let someone go like that. Maybe it's he wanted out. Maybe, I don't know, because if you know Vince, and from what you hear from other wrestlers, especially with Triple H, if Triple H doesn't like you, for the most part, he's buried talent in the past. I ain't trying to talk shit about Triple H. He's in my top 10 wrestlers of all time. But I just feel like if you don't play politics enough, or you're different, you're not going to be too successful with the company. And I don't agree with that.
Yeah.
Personally. For you though, I know it's going to be hard to do off the top, but if you could put like 5 of your all-time favorite wrestlers, who would you say your all-time favorites are?
Oh gosh. Okay. My top 5.
In no order, because
no order. Yeah. Ric Flair, I grew up on him like in the 90s, so I got to put him there. Hulk Hogan would be another one.
Yeah, biggest star of all time for sure.
Yeah. The Rock, I
was
would
a great worker. Yeah, the character. Yeah.
And then I'll go like real old school, and say Harley Race. I just like his like tough guy attitude,
but it wasn't like an act though. That's who.
No, that was
like
him.
It was crazy.
Legit him.
I love hearing the stories about Harley.
Yeah,
you know? It's the guy was a straight up legend.
Yeah, and I'll pick one from like current times. I am a huge fan of Samoa Joe. I love his work.
Okay. I would not expect that, but okay. Samoa. In no order, but for me, I'm going to put Randy up there. In-ring character. He's smooth as silk, you know, like he's in a league of his own. And to me, personally, the best in-ring performer, Shawn Michaels.
Right.
The dude was just phenomenal to watch. Kurt Angle, I'm gonna have to put up on that list.
Yeah.
Intense, but a great character, but in the ring could do anything. I'm gonna put Taker on that list too, being 7 foot, 300 pounds. In his prime, no one should move around the ring like he did.
Exactly.
Taker, and the character is the best gimmick of all time. And my fifth, this is tough.
Yeah.
Chris Jericho. Because I'm looking at the how he's able to evolve his character. And he's been in it for almost 30 years now, and he's still in the main picture. You know, he's not going away, and he's still having great matches.
He is.
But there's so many, man. Like I wanted to put Edge on that list. You know, like almost all the wrestlers that come from Canada are awesome. But one person, especially with the new gimmick and whatnot, I don't think gets enough credit for just a worker. Like if we're going from work, character, and work, like it would have to be Stone Cold and The Rock, and Hogan, and those guys.
Yeah,
because they were great workers and they were big draws. But one person I feel like people took for granted till he came back is Brock. Just because of the Suplex City gimmick, right? But the believability he puts in his character and the way he sells for people, like the AJ Styles match.
Oh, that one is so good.
Like people don't realize Brock had to sell his ass off. You know what I mean? Like Brock is a damn good worker.
Yeah.
And now you have him as a baby face, which is hilarious. Yeah. And he's funny. He's funny, dude. And it's like, this is going to put Brock in people's, it might not be your list or mine, but he's one of the best workers of all time. You know, he doesn't get credit for how good he is. Like the match with him and Kurt Angle at WrestleMania, even though he butchered the press, the shooting star, but you know, Brock is one of those guys. When you look at him, he looks like a physical specimen.
Yeah.
And the dude shouldn't be as quick on his feet as he is.
He really shouldn't.
But it's just interesting how this is a topic I could talk about for hours too. So we're gonna have to do another podcast.
Right.
But what matches are you looking forward to like day one? And do you think Brock is gonna come out victorious in that main event?
Obviously Roman and Brock I'm looking forward to. I don't know. That's one of the this is one of the few times I'm not sure if Brock is going
it's like
to win.
But this is one of the few times it's like I don't know if Roman's gonna win.
Exactly.
As great as like it was cool to see like John come back, it's like they're not gonna have him beat the record. You know, he's not just going to win the title, then drop it immediately. It doesn't make sense. Even though John is one of those guys who's going to go down as a top 5 of all time when you look at the work and Man, it was just so good to see people not say he sucks when he came back. I've never thought that. I feel like he lost those matches because he's one of those unselfish people who knows this is how you build the future.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he's probably one of the most unselfish guys behind the scenes. But yeah, it's just interesting. I don't know. But the way it's looking, I think Brock might do it. And if they want Roman to have a big Mania moment, or what they could do is have Brock lose, then Brock go in the Royal Rumble, win the Rumble,
maybe,
and then have his big moment at Mania.
Yeah.
There's so many things you could do with the story.
It could go so many ways.
I don't know, but I'm going to put my dollar on it and say that Brock is going to get it. I don't know why. My gut just says, you know,
right.
This is it. Cause I feel like Vince he knows what the people want, you know? And I think even though Roman's the guy, I feel like fans were pissed off Brock did not win at the last match.
Right.
You know, and Vince, as much as people give Vince shit, he listens to the universe. So if he wants to give the people what they want, he could do it the Daniel Bryan way, have Brock lose and, you know, big moment at Mania. But, you know, it's so interesting. One match I don't care for, and I hate saying this because I love this person as the Edge and Miz.
Yeah.
It's like, why is the Miz relevant to face Edge after the year Edge has had and the great matches? It's like, why is the Miz? Not that he's bad in the ring. It's just I thought the angle with him and Bray was a great angle. You know.
Yeah.
But I just don't see the Miz as a guy who should go in there and wrestle Edge. Because if you want Edge to benefit, he needs to wrestle young talent to help get them on.
Exactly.
You know, it's like the Miz is already established. And he's just a more famous version of MJF. LOL. But yeah, also, fuck, dude. Last question about this is, did you expect CM Punk to return to wrestling and go to AEW?
Honestly, I never expected him to return. After everything that happened, I never thought he'd come back. And I'm glad that he came back for the right reasons. He's back
happy, man.
Yeah, he's happy.
That's what's important.
And then when he mentioned the Brody Lee tribute show, which I am not afraid to admit, I cried like a baby for 2 hours straight. It was he was like, this group gets it. Like, this group of people gets it. And he, you know, got himself in better shape. And it was like, when you found out that they were doing a show in Chicago in August, it was like, yeah, he's coming back. We all know it's going to happen. So it was so.
I didn't see, I don't watch the product week by week just because I'm busy. But when I got on YouTube the next day, I see like CM Punk arrived at, I'm like, bullshit. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
And when you just heard the crowd, but you know, I wasn't expecting him. Like, if I was watching that live, I wouldn't expect him to come back, because for years, rather it was SmackDown or Raw or pay-per-view, every time they're in Chicago, the whole night, the crowd will chant CM Punk. You know what I mean? So like, I wasn't expecting him to come out, but when that music hit, you want to talk about a pop.
Oh man.
But I was also, if I was a writer for AEW, what I would have did, what personally is, I would have had that happen. Then like MJF come out, be like, I got you. Huh, I got you. You know, then I have Punk come out later and have like a bigger pop.
Right.
You know, but I mean, it was cool. And I'm glad he had his moment. And Yeah, I think I was just as shocked as everybody else because I thought he was done. The product is a lot better when he's in it, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy to see him, doing him and being happy. Yeah. So, do you have any questions before we wrap this up? Or
No, I think I'm good.
cool. Well, if you want to tell my listeners how they can find your show, or if you want to tell them any pages or
right.
social medias, the floor is all yours, my guy.
All right. You can listen to Sharks Pond, a South Park podcast. New episodes come each and every Friday. Or each and every Friday, unless like something happens, like I fall asleep, and then it'll be up the next day. But it's pretty much every Friday. You can join our Facebook group, Sharks Pond, a South Park podcast. That's all you have to type, and you are good to go. Follow the show on Twitter, Sharks Pond 97, and you can follow me on Twitter at House of Bill.
Awesome. Well, Bill, thank you so much for being on the show. And yeah, man, if you ever want a guest to talk about an episode of South Park,
absolutely.
At least you have someone.
Yep, I'll keep you in mind.
Yeah, man. Hey, and I appreciate that. And and I'll definitely listen to your show more. But from what I've gathered, people, it's a really good show. So please go and listen to that. And yeah, man, like I said, thank you so much for doing this. Enjoy your holiday coming up and New Year's. Drink all you want, but just be responsible,
Yes.
Because I know I'm gonna get tore up from the floor up, but I am not leaving my house. So that's that, man. So yeah. Guys, this was the Sunkiss podcast, and I just talked to Bill from the Sharks Pond. So, yeah, man. Cheers.